out at this time.
So like Schweitzer is listed 6'3", 277,
Mm-hmm.
which is fairly small for Division I in terms of the size, but I mean, he's probably going to get bigger, obviously,
Correct.
and certainly would have if he had redshirted, but
Yeah.
it was just time you had to have someone.
I think he's played very well. He separated himself from some guys, and we're just in a situation where we knew we're better in some spots in depth, but the depth is young. And this is this area where we are young in some depth positions, and some guys maybe they're playing it in another couple of years will be able to redshirt. Certainly, I believe as we move forward with our program, we won't be playing 12 true freshmen. We'll be redshirting those freshmen. Okay, but at this time, you know, that's what we have to do to move the program forward. So that's what we're doing, and these guys will keep getting better every single day, every single week.
Coming out after halftime, I mean, it's kind of a tough situation sometimes with a good thing you get out of that. You can see like who wants to actually be out there fighting and clawing.
Well, I challenged them.
Isaiah really showed it.
Yeah, I challenged them at halftime, and we challenged them with the idea that, okay, we're going to see what this half looks like, and we're not changing our offense and we're not changing our defense. We're staying with the game plan that we set up for this game, and we're going to go out and run this game plan. And the score is 0-0, and we're going to see how we do. And our goal is to win the second half. Now that not sound trite because of where we were at halftime, but we couldn't do anything at halftime. We couldn't do anything about the first half. Okay, we can only make adjustments and move forward to the second half with 9.5 games left to play. And we had to make sure that, and we found out, I think, a lot of things about our team at halftime and in the second half, and a lot of it good about our team. And we can build off of that, and we will.
Asim, ACL.
Yes.
I know every game comes with pressures and everything, but do you feel more with, I mean, it's a VMI, somebody lost to Gardner-Webb last year. It's one on the schedule that you're expected to win.
Yeah,
Is there any more than normal or not? I don't know.
No, we don't do anything different this week than we did last week or the weeks before. We're a very process-oriented program and don't approach this game any different than we approached Ohio State. And we stick to the process and we stick to what we're doing, and we have to perform better on game day. I mean, we had a very good week of practice last week, and we didn't translate that week to the game field. Now this week, we have to have equal to or better practice and translate that to the game field, and that's how you win on Saturdays. It's hard to win in college football, you know, and you can look around the country at a lot of examples of that every Saturday, how hard it is to win in college football. But you have to give yourself a chance on game day, which in the first half of that game last week, we surely did not. And quite unsure of how good our team could be, because as I told our team, we've played 3 really good teams, and we haven't played really well in those 3 games. So to get a ceiling for where we're at, what we're capable of doing, we're still in the process of figuring that out. But we do know that we have some good capabilities based upon the evidence in the second half. We had some guys grade out really, really well in the second half. We had some mental errors in the first half and had 0 in the second half at a lot of spots. And that shows me that we can do it. And we didn't change we had the same calls on offense, defense, and special teams in the second half we had in the first half. But we're process-oriented, and we're just going to work. And our Monday practice yesterday was the same Monday practice schedule we had last week, and our Tuesday will be the same Tuesday. And we just got to do it better.
Do you even mention Gardner-Webb this week, or is that so far the same league?
The only mention of Gardner-Webb was the fact that I let the team know that VMI is in the same conference, the Big South Conference, and that was the only reference. So I can give them some background on VMI.
What about them as a team then? You talked a little bit about it yesterday.
You know, I was offensively a very similar style to us. Okay, they run the football. They got 2 good backs that really have impressed me. Their tight end, number 87, really caught the ball really well against Richmond, golly. And the quarterback's big, strong arm player, physical, team, and really trying to control the clock and get their defense off the field. Really, really good, I think, style. Really well coached. Got really good schemes on offense. Really well coached. Don't see a lot of mistakes. On defense, you know, they're a 3-4 scheme, which is the biggest difference in our first 4 opponents than what we go through now. You get a lot of teams that play that odd front, 3 down guys in 3rd down, and but this is a 3-4 scheme every time, and of those 4 linebackers, 1 or 2 are coming on every play. And obviously I know Coach Christoph is a really fine coach, and it reflects in how the players play. there, and he's got some really good schemes. So we're going to have to make that adjustment, and then he got some really good outside linebackers, and they do just enough things, plenty of things that can cause you adjustments problems if you're not on your game. And I think they play really hard, and they tackle, and they're fundamentally sound. So they've had 3 games like we've had 3 games, and their last game was probably a mirror image of our last game. They got behind big early, and they fought their way back in the second half, just like we did. So they'll be a hungry team. We'll be a hungry team, and I expect it to be a heck of a game.
Did you see any more red shirts coming off, or I had the list? I don't know.
Are there any left?
Yeah. Bowen left. Brumbaugh's left.
Brumbaugh and Bohan, no. John Clay, no. I really don't see. There's nobody else in our conversations right now that could potentially come off their red shirt.
Kyle Pohl.
If something unforeseen saw.
Pohl, right?
Kyle Pohl, quarterback. I don't see that.
Right, yeah. And Durazio's still being.
He is.
He's considered a freshman.
He's a freshman. He's a guy we are trying to redshirt if we can.
So talk about the process of, deciding to switch quarterbacks and then go back again this past
Saturday?
Yeah.
Well, I just thought that it was happening really fast for Clayton. And the train was moving fast, and I felt it was in his best interest to slow him down and to give him off the side, let him take a deep breath, and let him watch it for a little bit, and to see what transpired. And Patrick went in and had a couple series. I thought he did pretty well in the first 2 series. Had a drop on a 3rd down on a very good read on his part. And then on the 3rd series, I thought he made a very critical error mentally. Nothing I haven't shared with Patrick on that interception. And then we went into halftime, and in our strategy of what we're going to do in the second half, we went back to our starting quarterback. And nothing more than that.
I mean, we know Coach Paulus is well known for working with quarterbacks, and he's working on, like crazy with these guys. What does he think about their progress or whatever?
Well, I think that Patrick Clayton made very good progress from game 1 to game 2. And he made the same progress from game 2 to game 3. I think that's clear. Nobody's going to be harder on themselves than Clayton. He's in here Sunday morning watching the tape and taking notes and looking at how he could do better, and in here studying the next opponent soon after that. So he's his own worst critic. He's a great competitor, and I expect him to respond to that. And everybody's got to get better. That's not the only position on our team that's got to improve. That's the one that gets a lot of the focus on our team, but we all have to improve, and there's plenty of things to go around for improvement on our team. And our guys are determined to do that. I like the look in our eye. I like our focus. And I'm anxious for us to get on the field today, have a full Tuesday practice and full pads, and to start working towards that improvement.
Rob, one for me is the play of Jamar. Can you talk the last couple of games? Can you talk about his?
Jamar Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, we led our team in tackles last week, and he's coming along. He's on a lot of special teams. I think he starts on 2 special teams. He's starting at will linebacker. I mean, we're pleased with his progress. He played. And him individually, he probably played much better against Cincinnati than he did against Temple. So we're really, really pleased with the progress he's made in there. And then we played Sheldon Miller and Justin March are both playing quite a bit. They're 2 young guys too. And Brian's he's the junior, but he's the crusty veteran in the middle there with our group.
Well, when you play 15-some freshmen over the first 3 games, you just got to see who can adjust and who can play at this level.
Well, we believe they all can play at a high level here. And it takes time. It takes time for them to grow and get the experiences, and they're getting the experiences right now as they go through this. And then you have to probably be squeezed down in your schemes more so than you will when these guys are juniors. Okay, and you can handle things. You almost have to kind of put up on your board, okay, we're running this, and okay, we got this down, we know this, put an X over here, now we can move on to the next thing. But until you X off the things that are on the front of the board, you can't move on to the next phase of development, in any phase, whether it be special teams or offense or defense. So a year ago, you kind of have that happen because you're in the first year of your systems, and now you have that happen because you have so many younger guys involved in your systems. Eventually, it'll take hold and we'll be continuing to move and grow. But it doesn't get you off the hook for fundamentals.
No.
And, you know, so the fundamentals of blocking and tackling that the young guys have learned when they were 8 years old, those are still the base fundamentals that we have to show up on Saturday when we play.